What is up, Bears fans? Welcome to the Chicago Bears Huddle. I am Owen James. This is your UK take on all things Chicago Bears. Right, look, let's grasp the nettle straight away. One of the things the Bears are bad at this season is running the football. As has been said by numerous people, if the Bears could run the football, we'd go from having a good offense. We have got a good offense. Caleb is quite clearly maturing, getting better, progressing and developing. Despite what the haters and the Bajan baddies may tell you, Williams is the man. He is the future. The pass attack looks good. Remadunze and Caleb are getting a fantastic understanding. We've got Almide Zacchaeus, we've got Luther Burden, DJ Moore, Con Komet, Colston Loveland when he's fit and hopefully more involved. The passing attack is quite clearly there. That is not a problem. But the rushing attack is absolute trash at this moment in time. The Bears running the ball are struggling massively this season. It is just not good at all. We rank 25th in yards per game for rushing. 25th out of 32 is pretty poor. Now, look, I get that Ben Johnson has said that DeAndre Swift is not the issue. I get that. What else is he going to say? He ain't going to come out and say DeAndre Swift is the issue, is he? He ain't going to throw his players under the bus. That ain't what a head coach does. But let's skip pleasantries. Let's get down to brass tacks, bare facts. DeAndre Swift ain't it. He ain't it. He ain't anything. He's limited. I don't mean in terms of injuries. He's just limited, full stop. Look, one of the players that the Bears could make a move for, as is being rumoured in a number of sources, is Breece Hall, the Jets running back. Now, according to a number of reports, the Jets are looking to shop Breece Hall in this coming up to this trade deadline on the 4th of November. However, it will be a tough sell because Breece Hall apparently is the subject of desire from a number of NFL teams, reportedly casting their eye enviously towards the Jets running back. Now, the Jets appear to be moving away from Breece Hall, not because he isn't doing a good job. We'll see in a minute what a great job he is doing this season, but because they're moving away to a running back by committee, a different approach. In effect, I think trying to rebuild with new head coach, with a new quarterback, all that sort of jazz. Breece Hall could be available. Now, like I said, teams are interested. Broncos apparently interested. Chiefs apparently interested. I suppose what makes it tougher is, you could argue, obviously, that the Chiefs and the Broncos more contenders this season than the Bears are. But, in terms of this stat, this raw new numbers, going in to this current brief is this one here. Breece Hall, 501 total yards in 5 games. Yes, DeAndre Swift has only played 4 games, but 272 total yards, night and day. Yards per carry, Breece Hall, 5.3 yards per carry. DeAndre Swift, 3.3 yards per carry. 2 yards less per carry. That's a 61% jump in rushing efficiency by Breece Hall. And Breece Hall, remember, is part of a bottom 5 offense. A bottom 5 offense in the Jets. It ain't great. It ain't great. Now, Breece Hall had a down year in 2024, but he appears to be bouncing back in 2025. His explosive play rate is up. His yards after contact up. His receiving volume is a threat with 4.2 catches per game. This is a resurgence. It's night and day. Breece Hall is a weapon. DeAndre Swift is a warm body. That is pretty much it. Look, to me, this looks like a little bit of a no-brainer when it comes to this whole situation with Breece Hall. Let's have a little look back over Breece's career in New York. Look, again, actually, he did have a down 2024, but look, I think if you go back to 2024, you're looking at a Jets team that was absolutely failing abysmally, had a dysfunctional offense, a quarterback situation that did not work, just genuinely was not good at all when it came to the situation with Breece Hall, with the Jets offense. Like I said, let's go back to 2022 where he played 7 games. He had 80 carries, 483 yards, averaging 5.8 yards per carry, 4 TDs with a long of 62. Back in 2023, he played the full 17 games, had 223 carries for 994 yards, 4.8 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns with a long of 83. 2024, he played 16 games, 209 carries, 878 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 5 TDs. And this season, he has started off really, really well with 5 games played, 66 carries, 351 yards, 5.3 yards per carry, yet to score a touchdown in a very poor Jets offense. He's a receiving threat out of the backfield, as well, as you can see from those receiving stats. So this guy is a threat. This guy is a player. He is someone who can bring a real threat to this offense. Now, this is also not just a win on the field. It would not just give the Bears a good rushing attack. If you've got Breece Hall as your running back 1, Kyle Monungai as your running back 2, you've got a kind of 1-2 punch there. As Ben Johnson had in Detroit with Gibbs and Montgomery, could we have that with Hall and Monungai? Could be a possibility. Now, people talk about, what about the cap hit? What about the cap hit? We're not exactly flush with cash at this moment in time. We've got $8.26 million in cap space to work with. Well, he would actually fit quite well. Hall's salary, his cap hit this year is $4.34 million, which would save us around $3.66 million if we ditch DeAndre Swift as well. He's got an $8 million deal. Now, let's just compare. You've got Breece Hall averaging 5.3 yards per carry in a pretty awful Jets team. You've got a better offensive team. Yes, not great, but still better, with a, yes, not great offensive line, but still, reasonably functional offensive line in Chicago, averaging 3.3 yards per carry, DeAndre Swift, but costing you nearly over nearly $4 million more for less. To me, it makes absolutely no sense. Now, yes, he only has a year remaining on his deal. Yes, he is a free agent at the end of this season. So there's no long-term commitment. He could come in, he could blow up, he could be poor. Just means at the end of the season, we let him walk. We say, thank you for your efforts, Breece, but hey, we ain't keeping you, buddy. Or if he does stay, if he does look good, then we extend him. We give him a new deal. We structure the money right, which is something that Ryan Poles is very good at, despite the criticisms of Ryan Poles. Look, I think it's time to move on. We seem to have a really toxic relationship with DeAndre Swift. The guy, he's got 3 years left on his deal, and he is just genuinely trash from point 1 to point 10. The guy just is poor. Breece Hall is, I think, understanding that this is the time to move, that he knows that this is the point to move. Ben Johnson's schemes demand versatility. They demand the use of a running attack. They demand having a running back who can be that feature back, who can, carry the ball, who can bring those explosive runs, can get those yards after contact. Breece Hall's your man. DeAndre Swift is not a yards after contact guy. He's not a hard yards kind of guy. He can't do that. He's just not up to that. So to me, this trade would make perfect sense. But, I guess what you're all asking out there is, what does it cost? There's a lot of Bears fans who don't want to sacrifice draft picks, who want to keep draft picks. But, even if it's just to getting Breece Hall in and then extending him, or even, if he comes in now and they do this as part of an extension like they did with Joe Tooney, it could be a possibility. The main proposal going around at the moment, the rumour mill, says that it could cost a 2025 third round pick and a conditional fifth that could rise to a fourth depending on Hall's performance. A backup offer would be to go with a 2026 second rounder, and the conditional fifth could be another one. So it would cost a little bit, but not a huge amount. It ain't going to cost a huge amount. This is a small gamble for high upside. This is not, going to cost you a first rounder. It's not going to cost you a high second rounder. This is a possibility to really get someone in who could make that difference. And as I've said, if you took the Bears running game to the next level, how good would this offense be with Ben Johnson calling the plays? And Ben Johnson's offense needs a run game to work 100% effectively. And I'm telling you now, guys, I am sorry if you are a DeAndre Swift fan, but that guy ain't bringing it, ain't going to give you what you need, because he is trash. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Breece Hall, would that be a good move for the Bears? Let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Bear down.